welcome to this event. On behalf of the Housing Department, City of Phoenix, we welcome you to this significant milestone that I never thought we would achieve this quickly. When I first started out as a housing director 3 years ago, almost, or 3.5 years ago, I said to myself, what have I got myself into trying to figure out how to create and preserve 50,000 units by 2030? And I was like, this is a tall order, but I have to say, the mayor and council have been very supportive in making sure we achieve these goals, and I was very timely that we achieved them quickly. So, as I mentioned, my name is Titus Matthew. I'm the Housing Director of the City of Phoenix. I'm pleased to welcome you to this event and to celebrate this significant milestone and a great success story at a beautiful facility in Phoenix, in District 1. This particular facility has supported services attached to it and has been a great partner with the City of Phoenix Housing Department in building this project. The Housing Phoenix Plan is the City of Phoenix first ever housing plan approved by the Mayor and Council in 2020. The Housing Phoenix Plan's vision is to create a stronger and more vibrant Phoenix through increased housing options for residents at all income levels and family sizes. Today, you will hear about our progress towards this vision. The Mayor and City Council's support of this plan and its policy initiatives have been instrumental in helping us achieve the milestone we're here to commemorate today. I would like to thank Mayor Gallego, Vice Mayor Ann O'Brien, and other council members for joining us this morning. I would like to introduce Phoenix Mayor Kate Gallego, who has long prioritized affordable housing, increasing the supply of housing within the city, and has been a huge champion for affordable housing. If I were to give her another name, I would say she's an affordable housing champion for the Housing Department, a great supporter of making sure we have the zoning and the ordinances needed to increase the housing supply in Phoenix. Mayor, please help me welcome the Mayor Gallego.
Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us here today to celebrate this important milestone. To our director, thank you for your leadership in getting us here today early. And before we get started, can we do a round of applause for the reserve at Thunderbird? To Jessica and your team, we are so pleased to be here today. It is one of the projects we love to showcase because of how intentional it is, a mix of different backgrounds and incomes, but taking on some of the greatest challenges, including people who have suffered from real trauma, and beautiful trauma-informed murals. It's also, you can tell it was built by parents because there's wonderful space for our youngest residents to play and to learn, as well as great services to help our community thrive. So thank you for being willing to host us today. I'm proud that the city has surpassed our 2019 Housing Phoenix Plan goal to create or preserve 50,000 units, 5 years ahead of schedule. And it is wonderful to share this at a community that really celebrates the values behind the plan. 90% of the units here are affordable and can house families with up to 4 bedrooms, so you can have a larger family here. I got to talk to one resident who was an adult living with her father and had previously had to share a bedroom with dad. We all love our parents, but as adults, we do not want to share bedrooms with them. And so just giving people the opportunity to have their own space and thrive and feel comfortable. The dog also loved living here. They shared. But these are the kind of places with beautiful mountain views and warm neighbors where we really had that high standard in mind when we passed the Housing Phoenix Plan. When we passed this plan, many market forces were acting against us. Phoenix's population was booming, the pace of construction was slow, mortgage rates, labor, and supply costs were increasing rapidly. But we knew with some political will and determination to drive forward solutions, we could make a real impact on our community. We had to, because the future-ready city we want to build is bustling with economic activity that can only continue flourishing if we have the support to house our workforce. Thank you to the council support, city staff's tireless efforts, and incredible partners, we delivered on our goal. Want to recognize, in addition to Director Matthews, we are joined by our Deputy City Manager, Gina Montez, as well as Spencer Self, who leads our neighborhood services and was a key partner, including on some of the rehabilitation work where we continued to invest in housings. And congratulations to Samantha Keating, who spearheaded this project for us for the last several years. Out of the more than 50,000 units, more than 11,000 units are affordable, and approximately 12,800 are workforce units. So this plan delivered a diversity of different units and types, but really important to emphasize, more than 11,000 of those are affordable. Creating and preserving these units meant that the working families have a place to call home. Instead of living in uncertainty about whether they can afford rent, they can lift up their entire family and focus their energy on setting themselves up for future success, supporting their kids at school, securing a great job, accessing new opportunities. I'm proud that Phoenix stepped up in more than one way to achieve our goals. Using federal home grants, we're revitalizing our public housing complexes, tearing down dated buildings and replacing them with mixed-income, modernized units. We're updating our zoning codes to expand housing options, including allowing residents to build ADUs on their properties and reducing parking minimums in favor of more housing, particularly in our urban core. We looked at our own city-owned land. We are selling some and helping redevelop others. We're also helping school districts that want to invest in housing in their district, bringing new families to their student bodies. All told, we've approved nearly 60,000 units through the rezoning process since March of 2019. We are shifting towards being a denser city that is more sustainable and affordable. But our work is not done yet. We've surpassed our goal from a few years ago. We'll need to chart the next path forward with the same aim, providing even more families an affordable, comfortable place to call home. Thankfully, our voters are supporting us. They overwhelmingly passed a very important bond that will help bring $63 million for affordable housing and senior centers in the city of Phoenix. Just a few months ago, we broke ground on one of those bond projects that will turn 145 outdated public housing units into 364 new affordable and market rate apartments in the Edison East Lake community. One of the really important things this plan did was ask us to put people with affordable housing expertise on boards and commissions throughout the city, and that has really changed the dialogue so often. Now we'll have planning commission meetings where people are saying, can we do more affordable units? Or how can we have enhanced partnerships? And so it's been great to see just the conversation change. When we began this plan, the Phoenix Housing Department was really a public housing authority. It managed our public housing units, and this plan was a milestone that said our responsibilities are broader at the city of Phoenix. We are going to look at all housing in our community, not just the housing that we directly manage. So today we celebrate a great milestone and a change in mindset at the city of Phoenix. And now I get to introduce a great champion for housing, someone who looks at it from a personal experience, but also looking at policy solutions, someone who has expertise in this area from before she ran for office, and our own vice mayor. Please welcome Ann O'Brien.
Thank you all for coming out this morning, and thank you again to Mayor Kate Gallego. It is because of Mayor Gallego's perseverance and leadership that we accelerated the Phoenix. She accelerated the Phoenix into our initial housing plan, and I think we owe her another round of applause because we got that there so quickly. Thank you so much for your leadership. As Vice Mayor and Chair of the Economic Development and Housing Subcommittee, I understand the importance of supporting efforts to increase housing supply in our city, especially within the affordable and attainable price range for both first-time homebuyers and retirees looking to downsize. And it's why I've gathered a coalition of stakeholders to run the Home Ownership Act at the state legislature to ensure that we are able to bring more attainable condominiums and townhomes back to the state of Arizona and to the city of Phoenix. Phoenix City Council continues to lead efforts across the state to reduce barriers and cost to all housing income earners. We've cut red tape, eliminated antiquated procedures, reducing timelines, and passed innovative zoning solutions, leading the pack of our municipal peers. I am committed to continue working with Mayor Gallego and my council colleagues to keep Phoenix moving forward by finding solutions in any layer of government that will make it quicker to go from shovels in the dirt to keys in the door, thus reducing the cost of the final product and creating more affordable housing. Today, we are here to celebrate this mixed, beautiful income, supportive housing development built by Atlantic Development and Investments. I couldn't be more proud to have this diversified housing unit in my district, actually in my old stomping grounds. I just grew up a little bit north of here, so thank you so much for being something so beautiful to our district. Not only does this development contribute to reaching our Housing Phoenix Plan unit goal, but it provides more than 200 families in my district with a quality, amenity-rich, and sustainable place to call home, a place to follow dreams and create memories. We are thankful to developers like Atlantic, who partner with the City of Phoenix and are committed to helping increase the supply of affordable housing throughout our amazing city. Now, if you'll please help me welcome Jessica Raymond, the Executive Vice President of Atlantic Development Investments, to the podium.
Thank you, Vice Mayor Ann O'Brien. Thank you, Mayor Kate Gallego and Director Matthews. We are so honored to be selected as the location for this momentous celebration. 5 years ahead of schedule. That's a huge achievement and deserves another round of applause. Developing housing, and particularly developing affordable housing, is not easy. In fact, it's incredibly difficult. And so having a partner like the City of Phoenix who comes to the table and helps to bring creative solutions to drive forward towards our common goals is essential. During the development of the reserve at Thunderbird, we encountered numerous obstacles. We were developing during COVID, the supply chain had broken down, costs were rising, and we as developers needed to become creative in how we found resources to fill our financing gaps, continue to drive forward progress on the construction side. And in that struggle, we were met with our partner, the City of Phoenix. They created positions within the housing department to support and assist developers. I'd like to thank Samantha Keating. She was so essential in helping us work with the building department during an incredibly difficult time. You know, remote work is wonderful in so many ways, but it also presents its challenges. And having hybrid schedules meant that we all had to really communicate together and keep coming back to the central message, which is we're all on the same team and we're all working towards the same goal. The goal at this community is to create a supported living environment, especially for families. I'm the mother of a large family, and when I developed this project, I brought a lot of intention behind the supports that are provided here, behind the community amenities, and I spent a lot of time imagining what life would be like here, and I wanted it to be a place where people felt happy, they felt whole, and they felt empowered. The artwork around you reflects that, and the stories from the residents that you're going to hear reflect that. I'm grateful to our residents who are brave enough to come up here and share their stories today. I thank them, and I hope you all listen because these stories are what this is all about. Our first speaker is Elizabeth Galvez. She is resident number lucky 13, and we're lucky to have her.
Good morning. Hello, my name is Elizabeth Galvez, and I'm happy to have an opportunity to express my gratitude. In 2020, like the rest of the world, my life flipped upside down. I was struggling from postpartum and my mental health had crashed. I was no longer able to work and provide for my family. Before we knew it, my family of 5 found ourselves homeless. It was a hard time filled with frustration. We were empty, we were alone, and we were unable to provide for our family. I was connected with Home Inc. and given a dream opportunity. for my family here at the Reserve at Thunderbird. Not just a roof over our head, but a beautiful and safe roof over our head. We've been here almost a year now and have absolutely fallen in love with our home and community. Our family is closer and happier than ever. I'm so thankful to local governments, Home Inc., and the Reserve at Thunderbird for giving my family a chance that has changed our lives forever. Instead of fear and frustration, we feel pride and empowerment. Today is truly a great day to express our gratitude. And thank you.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Our next speaker is Ms. Celia Ortega.
Okay, I may have to lower this just a tad bit. I'm going to do my best to get through this. I'm already crying. I haven't even started. Housing should be mandatory for all people, a basic human necessity. Sadly, that's not the case. Having a place to call home nowadays seems to be a luxury. Life happens to the best of us, and it's easy to find yourself in a situation where you may be facing homelessness. I personally know a few families who have moved here after being in homeless shelters for months and some for even years. My story may be different, but the Reserve at Thunderbird was my saving grace, just as it has been for others who now call this beautiful community home. My story consists of domestic violence, mental, emotional, and financial abuse, and the option to leave seemed impossible. That was until I found the Reserve at Thunderbird. When I found the Reserve, I found a way out, and I knew that God had been working even when I didn't see it. I could see the light at the end of the tunnel. Moving here has changed my life in ways I used to only fantasize about. I dance in the kitchen with my kids while I cook. I watch movies peacefully with my children. And I sleep like I've never slept before. The Reserve at Thunderbird has gave me hope, and I know now that despite what has been told to me that I can stand on my own 2 feet. I can provide for my children on my own. And I can do this mom thing. This single mom thing. I can, I am, and I will continue to. I know now that my story matters. Because places like this are made so that people with stories like mine can start over. So that we can build a new life outside of our trauma. I can never thank the people responsible for communities like this enough. But for what it's worth, thank you.
Thank you, Celia, and thank you, Elizabeth. Your stories do matter. It's stories like this that, it's what this project is all about, is giving people an opportunity to be the author of their own story. You control the narrative. Our next speaker is Director Titus Matthew. I'm incredibly grateful for our partnership with the director and with his department. Our company, Atlantic Development, has been developing affordable housing in Arizona since the early 90s, and we've developed over 1,000 units in the city of Phoenix. The city of Phoenix stepped up to the table when I brought this development to them. We were competitively awarded home funds for both Phase 1 and Phase 2, as well as project-based vouchers for each phase with a contract term of 15 years. Those vouchers provide an opportunity for the families that Celia mentioned who are moving from homelessness to be connected with resources here, including a safe place where they can restart, and they're provided with on-site support services through community bridges and other nonprofit partners that we've brought to the table. Director Matthew not only serves as the Housing Department Director, but also the Executive Director of the Phoenix Public Housing Authority. He's worked for the City of Phoenix for 24 years across 4 different departments. He oversees 129 full-time staff. I do not envy you that. 51 contract staff and an operating budget of $199 million. Director Matthew is a wonderful partner. He makes public-private partnerships like this possible, and we appreciate him. Please welcome.
Thank you, Jessica, for those kind words. One of the facts about Jessica, and I talk about this in my housing arena business, I just told the mayor this morning. So when we give out loans to developers to build affordable housing, we generally give them 40 years to do a payback. Jessica is one of the few developers who's so competitive. She wants to pay back far sooner than the 40 years and wants to pay off the loans quicker, which in turn, what happens is we can take those monies and put it back into the community as well. So Jessica is a valued partner for the City of Phoenix as well. So thank you, Jessica. In closing, while we have reached the Housing Phoenix Plan goal of 50,000 units and preserving the units, our work to increase the supply and affordability of housing in Phoenix is far from over. The Housing Department will continue to implement the Housing Phoenix Plan policy initiatives to create more housing opportunities and focus on efforts that will assist Phoenix families with the greatest needs. We know that there is still a need for more housing, and work will be done. We're committed to continuing our partnership with other city departments like CED, Community Economic and Development, represented by Xander Keating this morning. Neighborhood Services, represented by Spencer Self and his team out there, so thank you, Spencer. The Planning and Development team, who partners with us a lot, as well as Human Services, who assist us with eviction prevention and other needs as necessary. I also would like to acknowledge the City Manager's Office, especially Gina Montez, who has been very supportive of me and the Housing Department in helping ensure we achieve these goals and timely as well. And Gina has been a great partner to work with, understanding the issues and then ensuring that we work with Council and Mayor to enable us to achieve these goals, as well as making sure that we have the tools needed to achieve these goals as well. I'd also like to thank the Housing Management team and the Housing Department staff and the Affordable Housing Division especially for all the work that they've done over the years. It's been a lot of work, and as the Mayor mentioned, when we started 3-4 years ago, we had no Affordable Housing Division. We started with a team of one. Joseph McEwen, I think, was the first hire in that division. And Samantha Keating came along, and now it's a team of 4, a mighty team of 4. So thank you to Team Affordable Housing. Finally, I'd like to take a moment to thank Mayor Gallego, Vice Mayor O'Brien, Jessica Raymond, and the Reserve at Thunderbird residents for joining us this morning to celebrate this wonderful milestone. This goal could not have been achieved without your support, and I look forward to the continued support and doing more like these projects in Phoenix. This concludes our program today, and I'd like to invite those of you who are interested to join us for a tour of one of the project's units, as well as some of the community spaces as well. Thank you very much, and thank you for coming this morning.